are they both named the same coach? Okay, guys, you're live.
It doesn't say that on YouTube.
You're live. Speak.
Hello?
No. Commentate.
Guys, you can begin.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ian Nicholas, joined by Austin Platt here from Dunning Field. So sorry to tell you that we've had numerous technical difficulties early on in this broadcast. Hey, we're rusty. We haven't been here in exactly 172 days since the last Connecticut high school game in any sport. It's been 172 days, but we're back. NCTV is back live streaming sports, and here we are with the live coverage. So we are exactly 13 and a half minutes into this game, so that's what you missed. You didn't miss a ton, luckily. It is still a 0-0 game between the New Canaan Rams and the Darien Blue Wave. A couple of nice efforts from the Blue Wave offensively, but star junior goalie Alex Walter has been phenomenal for the Rams early on, Austin.
Yeah, and that's one of the spots with this team. You know, it's a much younger team, and obviously we talked with Coach yesterday, and he's excited about the season. I mean, really everyone's excited just because, you know, they're back 172 days. You got two younger teams, two teams that struggled a little bit last year, New Canaan in year 2 under Coach Luke Green. Year 3, under Coach Luke Green went 3-9-4. And the year before went 3-11-2, so it's a rebuilding program to say the least. But there are some seniors out there: Tyler Timlin, Jack Fannin, Thomas Bosman. That they'll be in the back there. New Canaan's running a 4-1-3-2 as Bosman has the ball here, the senior, and there's Norton, the other right back. So they're going with 5 in the back. The other one is McLaughlin, the Aidan Mclaughlin, that is the sophomore, and then Doyle Catlin, Evan Bayless in midfield, and Lindbergh and Tommy Kurz up front, and that is your starting lineup for New Canaan.
Yep. So still a 0-0 game. We are just about 15 minutes into this one, 0-0. Austin, you alluded to the fact that we talked to head coach Luke Green yesterday after practice. He is the third-year coach here at New Canaan. And, you know, when he took this job 2 years ago, he said this is not going to turn into a 500 team overnight. This was going to be a rebuild for a program that had only won 8 games the 2 seasons prior to his arrival. And he's only won 6 in his first 2, but a lot of young players coming up the ropes. And it's a really talented squad this year. 6 of his 11 starters are seniors, the guys who you listed off as Jack Fannin heads that one. Meanwhile, for Darien, 3 of their 11 starters are seniors. Here's Fannin racing it up, one of the Rams' 4 defensemen as he runs into the far fence. Number 24, Jack Fannin. Meanwhile, Darien last year was exactly 500, 6-6-4, led by longtime head coach John Bradley in his 10th year coaching the boys. The former FCAC Coach of the Year, as Alex Walter says he denied that one, even though the shot was nowhere close. Anyway, Coach John Bradley in his 10th year at the helm for this Darien program. He actually was the FCAC Coach of the Year back in 2008 with the girls team, and then won with the boys team in 2011, so he's been on both sides of the spectrum coaching for Darien. Here is Doyle Catlin, one of the Rams' 2 senior captains, I should say. Doyle Catlin. Catlin, the captain. Fannin tumbles, shot is, so close for Billy Bronca, the junior from Darien. He had an open shot at it, and Austin, so close.
Oh, yeah, Walter, that's the second time he's had to come out already, and Bronca, as we see a couple of the Rams talking it over, Bosman and Fannin, the 2 seniors on the right-hand side of that defense, looking at a little miscommunication as they did get away with one, honestly. That was a wide-open net, and Walter had to come out. And for New Canaan, you know, it's a team that, you know, has struggled, as you mentioned. Coach Green just has 3 years under his belt and does not really have a fantastic record. 6-20-6 he is, 6 wins, 20 losses, 6 ties. But as excited about this year, they certainly have some talent on the field, as Walter has not the best kick there from the spot.
And jumping that one for a second. Number 13 for Darien, junior Thomas Cleary. Here is Christian Achman, one of the seniors for his team. Kick would count for a field goal, but this is soccer, of course, as that one heads into the New Canaan High School parking lot. Game still 0-0, just around 18 minutes in to this first half of soccer. 2 40-minute halves. That's the high school format as Walter gets it over to Tom Bosman, number 28. Pass is jumped by Jonathan Petrie, the sophomore. New Canaan retakes control for a moment. Coming up is Aidan Mclaughlin, the sophomore, number 18. On the far side, it's another defender, Tyler Timlin, running it up. The senior, number 20. Here with the ball, Evan Bayless. He's a senior, but a first-year New Canaan High School soccer player, as that was last touched by New Canaan's Tommy Kurz and out of play.
Darien's had most of the possession so far, and what you guys missed, really Darien dominated possession. New Canaan's had some turnovers in their own half, which, obviously something Coach Green, you expect it. These guys haven't played a ton. Obviously, it's the first game of the year. Darien does have a scrimmage under their belt, a 1-0 win against West Hill, in which Coach Bradley says it was a great performance from them, and he was really excited about this team. They've worked very hard over the past month, and two teams are obviously looking to take that next step forward. Bradley's done that. His team has been up and down, but obviously this year the division is wide open. They're both playing in the
Oh, and I'll cut you off there for a second, Austin. Billy Bronca has been extremely involved on the offensive end for Darien. Tries to head that one in and misses slightly to the left. But he has just been all over there in attack mode for Darien. Billy Bronca, the junior, one of the 3 returning starters for this Darien team, including senior Robbie Roderick and junior Chase Caruso, as well as Bronca. There was Bennett Dumas, number 4, headed as they continue to put the pressure on Alex Walter. Jumps on it. And another big save for him. Gets it out to McLaughlin.
Still too many errors here from New Canaan in their own defensive half. They've had some decent looks in the offensive half, but really, have not had the possession as Kurz runs up the left-hand side here, but that is Whitaker, the sophomore, playing right back, who does well to get it out. It'll be a New Canaan throw. This year, obviously, with the pandemic and all the craziness around us, they have split up the FCAC into 3 divisions. Both of these teams are on the West. It is Darien, Greenwich, New Canaan, Stanford, West Hill, and Wright Tech, a new member of the FCAC this year. So a new look. Every team will play each other twice in a row. So these 2 teams will actually play again on Tuesday at Darien.
Yep, they will play each other again next week. Austin, usually these teams only get the chance to play each other once a year in a game that everybody knows because it's New Canaan versus Darien. One of the best rivalry matchups. Are we out?
We just pulled the...
Why you just pull the plug on the audio?
That was the audio.
That was audio.
That was our audio.
Sorry down there.
What do you want, this? Video adjustment. Where is that? Video adjustment.
And we're back. Sorry, had the audio plug pulled. Everything's going wrong for us here at NCTV. Let me tell you something, folks. It can only go up from here. So, first broadcast of the year. The players can be rusty, so can we. So we are back with the audio. Still a 0-0 game with 18 minutes left in half number 1. And it between New Canaan and Darien.
Free kick here for Darien. It's Ethan Fox, number 10, one of the captains for this team, looking to cross it in.
Well said, Austin. Here is Fox. Puts it up. Headed. Timlin kicks it out of bounds. Out of play, and out of Dunning Field.
Good set piece there from Darien. Fox, a pretty good ball in, was headed the wrong way, and then Timlin made sure there was no chance for a second opportunity as he cleared that one out. Darien's dominated most of this game so far, have had the opportunities, have held on to possession, which is something New Canaan has struggled with a little bit so far.
So head coach Luke Green, you mentioned his record earlier, Austin, through 2 years here at the program. Like a lot of the FCX soccer coaches, it seems like. He comes from the UK, and he has played or coached at soccer at every level from youth through professional. He was the former director of coaching for the New Canaan Football Club, which is a big reason why he got the job, because he already had such a big tie to the community and the youth community for potentially a longer rebuild of this program. And he said when he got the job back in April 2018, quote, "The team isn't going to be a 500 team overnight." That's the quote I alluded to earlier. "What I'll be looking at is how do we turn success at the freshman, JB, and then varsity level." So hopefully a big year this year for New Canaan, but obviously a 12-game season, not a 16-game season, Austin, in the middle of a global pandemic. Things will be changed. We have new divisions, so obviously, as you alluded, they will only be playing Greenwich, West Hill, and Wright Tech this year. Through 12 games. They'll play each of them 4 times.
New Canaan's actually done very well at the back, despite the fact that in the midfield they've turned the ball over. They mentioned an opportunity here.
Walter racing! Snags it for a moment, but still in Darien possession. Headed out by Fannin. Headed out by McLaughlin. And New Canaan avoids near disaster. I also forgot to mention both the Stamford teams that New Canaan will be playing this year. Both Stamford and West Hill are in the new FCAC West Division for this regional COVID-19 season.
Darien was looking for a handball there. Looks like it might have gone off the shoulder of one of the players in the box, but no such luck. Has another big opportunity. Walter came out but couldn't quite corral it. Darien still hasn't had that big opportunity to pounce on the mistakes that New Canaan has made.
Here's Thomas Cleary, the junior, number 13 for the Blue Wave. Now on the move is the speedy Evan Bayless, finding Henry Lindbergh, the captain of his team, alongside Doyle Catlin. Norton loses it. Bayless, now Kurz. Doyle Catlin. Norton in trouble, loses it. Kurz gets in there, delivers a blow.
This is the best we've seen from New Canaan so far. Had great possession and a great pass to Lindbergh here.
Lindbergh's got a shot. He'll slow it down. To the middle of nowhere. Couldn't find anybody, and Jonathan Peaty zooms it up the field, and Walter comes out of a goal to bat it, to kick it out of play. So, we already talked a little bit about the Darien Blue Waves head coach, John Bradley, in his 10th year with this program, the boys program, that is. He was a former 2011 MSG Varsity CT Coach of the Year, which is pretty crazy, when he had a terrific 2011 season at the helm of this boys soccer team. And he played overseas in 4th-tier English football. So, both these guys coming from the UK, who knows if they knew each other before they got these jobs at New Canaan and Darien, respectively. But last year, Darien went 6-6-4, but they finished the season off strong, Austin. 5-1-2 down the stretch. And they finished 4th in the FCAC West. This ball up in the air, in trouble, and Fannin fights for it with Bronca.
Winning the goal kick there was McLaughlin. As I said, they're running with 5 at the back, but it is theoretically 4 at the back and 1 in front. McLaughlin, the sophomore, being in front of the 3 seniors and the junior, Norton, that is. So it's an interesting formation. They're focusing at the back, as one of their big losses actually is Lorenzo Marsili, the sophomore, FCAC All-East last year, one of the couple returners who was out, along with Irving Dorman, NCTVer, and Jake Bosman, who's the younger brother of Thomas Bosman. So New Canaan looking to try and get some new guys in there as they deal with a couple of guys who are out this evening.
Yeah, the Rams had 3 All-FCAC players last year. Alex Grillo was a member of the FCAC All-East team. He graduated. You have Marsili, Lorenzo Marsili, the sophomore, who will not be playing tonight, as well as the other 2 sophomores that Austin named, and Captain Doyle Catlin. All 3 of those players made the FCAC All-East team last year For a New Canaan team who struggled despite having some pretty solid players on the roster, they had a minus 18 goal differential, which is definitely not what you want to see. They scored 19 goals and allowed 37. Their 3 wins came against 3 losing programs: Trinity Catholic, who went 0-15 and is no longer a high school; Stanford, who got 7 wins; and Richfield, who got 4. And they're looking to get some wins against quality competition this year. We have an injury here on the sideline for New Canaan. That is going to be George Marley, the junior, who's being stretched out. Hopefully he's all right as we resume play here. 12:33 left in half number 1. A little bit of a collision. Ball out of play. Fighting for that one was Darien's Robert Whitaker, the sophomore.
An update in the girls' game. Darien defeated New Canaan 2-1 at Darien, the girls' varsity team. That is this year with the all-regional and everything trying to be geographically close to one another. It's basically everyone starting against Darien, and this game being one of the later ones. The girls' soccer have lost 2-1, but the field hockey won 3-2 in overtime against Darien. Shauna Ferreira scored an OT winner. Bill Brown with the information there from that, so thank you, Bill, for that.
Shout out to our PA man, Bill Brown. Yeah, if you like New Canaan Darien sports, then this week has probably been the best one of your life, or it's going to be, because you're going to get a lot of New Canaan Darien action. And we are going to cover any game we can throughout the course of these next few weeks during the fall season. That is a home game for all of the sports teams we have here at NCHS. So still 0-0. What have you liked what you've seen so far from New Canaan, Austin?
Well, they've actually done much better in this, latter stages. Really, pretty much ever since the stream started working, New Canaan's played a lot better, honestly. So maybe that's the reason why.
Maybe that's the thing that's going wrong.
Now we know. Now we know. But they've done much better in the midfield. Held on to possession. Had some good opportunities. Darien is still looks like come out the better team. The first game of the year. But New Canaan's looked much better. They've been working a lot of crosses yesterday. We scouted out practice yesterday.
A little bit, yep.
Tried our best at least, and seems like what they're doing is paying off to some extent in this one.
Yeah. Still got plenty of game to play. The Bronca brothers are really the 2-star players of this Darien Blue Wave team. You got Tommy Bronca, the sophomore, number 0, who's the goalkeeper for Darien, and his brother, Billy Bronca, I've already mentioned him numerous times, the junior, has been vicious on the offensive end. McLaughlin fighting for it with New Canaan, versus Christian Ochman, the senior, captain for Darien.
Be a throw-in for Darien here. Just over 10 minutes to go in half number 1. Still no score.
Whistle. And that, what do we got there, Austin?
Looks like a foul, and it looks like it'll be in favor of Darien. The assistant referee originally pointed in the favor of New Canaan, but the Darien player went down, which makes sense. So it will be a free kick for Darien. It looks like number 12, Chase Caruso, one of the 3 returning starters, the junior, will be taking this one as New Canaan lines up the wall.
This is their second free kick, I believe, Austin?
Second or third. They've had some good crosses in. Here's another good one. Reaches nobody, however.
Darien has definitely been the more effective team offensively tonight, but they are just not converting their chances early on.
This is what happens when, practices are in cohorts. Everything's just not normal. And you expect the first game really in any season to not be the greatest, but especially with everything that's going on. Those are the little things that, they're getting those opportunities. So obviously Coach Bradley is going to be very happy to see that, and I think he'll be the happier of the 2 coaches heading in to halftime if the score stays 0-0, obviously.
September 21st, Monday, September 21st, that is, was the first day that sports teams in Connecticut, the high school teams, were able to practice without cohorts. So the fact that they've only really had 2 full weeks of practice is insane, but they're trying to pull off a season, and they are. Here's Catlin, Doyle Catlin, that is, gets it up to Michael Norton, finding Captain Limburg. A couple new players in for New Canaan, including number 13, Nick Lamberinos, the senior. Here's defenseman Aidan Mclaughlin, puts it up. Here's Catlin fighting for it. And on the ground, Jonathan Peaty, the sophomore for Darien, a bit shooken up.
Very smart to take the free kick very quickly for New Canaan, but miscommunication there as that's number 15.
Ashton Healey, the junior, also a new player in the game for New Canaan. Vicious headbutt there, or header, I should say, from Aidan Mclaughlin.
Looks like New Canaan's going a little bit more of a back three here instead of a back four. I think the miscommunication is just too many people there, too many cooks in the kitchen potentially, and that injury on the far side, and just trying to test it out. Obviously, in the first game, just trying to see, especially you get to play this game twice. You got to play this team twice, so it's just really kind of a feeling out.
Good point. Norton to throw it in to Lamberinos. In this 0-0 game, just under 7 minutes left, just over 7 minutes left in half number one. Bodies hit the deck.
Foul for Darien. Looks like Tommy Kurz was the one that stuck his leg in there.
And Tommy Kurz, the junior, want to give a shout out to our camera woman, Alex Kurz, one of the two-station managers here at NCTV, who's filming the game. Kurz, obviously a relation, junior and senior siblings.
Another foul in favor of Darien here. Looked like might have been a handball. And let's see if they can, they've had some decent crosses, and it's going to be Caruso again, looks like, from the 30-yard line here at Dunning to cross this one in.
It's a good one, but not good enough. He was able to get it over the wall, but couldn't put it where he wanted to.
New Canaan's playing a very high line on these crosses, and Darien's had opportunities, but just Caruso's just putting a little too much juice on these crosses. But their blue jerseys right in that box, and New Canaan's got to definitely nail that down at half. There's nearly a chance here, but what a great job there from Bosman.
He's still racing down the sideline, and he's gassed after that effort. But as you mentioned, great there from Tom Bosman, the senior.
Looks like we got a couple substitutions here for Darien, but that was a great job. Didn't get the greatest of passes, but it did a good job to run it down and prevent anything. Colin Byrne will come in for New Canaan, the senior, number 17. As will number 32 for Darien. That's Ryan Roderick, another brother-brother relationship. His brother, Robbie, he's a sophomore. Robbie is a senior, so we got some sibling connections on both sides here.
And Robbie, one of the better players on his Darien team as a returning starter. Heading it is Lamberinos, and he'll put it right back out of play. Throwing it in for Darien, Danny Lowe, the senior captain for the Blue Wave. Lamberinos trips. Still in New Canaan possession, as Catlin's a bit confused.
Looking to play quickly, just couldn't, as actually number 32, Roderick, who just came on, was preventing the quick taking of a free kick.
Kurz in the middle of the field. Finds Lamberinos. And jumping that one, number 34 for Darien, Matthew Kennedy, the sophomore. Norton to throw it in. He'll throw it in again. A little bit of deja vu.
Norton's certainly been one of the better players on the field for New Canaan thus far. It says center back, on our lineup, but he has really done a great job having the ability to go into the attacking half. He and Bosman so far are the two guys I'm definitely impressed with in game number one, and half number one, I should say.
Norton, one of the 5 returning starters for New Canaan this season, and it definitely is showing early on in his play. One of the more physical players on this team for the Rams. 3:45 left in half number one. Don't worry, folks. We'll make sure we give you that full second half of action. Walter makes the save, a pretty easy one, off the kick from Ethan Fox, the senior.
Darien's kind of adapted to the high press. They're really putting a lot of pressure on New Canaan, and that's certainly a good call there from Coach Bradley, as New Canaan has had some miscommunications and some passes that really haven't connected. As Burns going to chase this one down.
Dumas put that one there, and Walter safely puts it out of play and into the New Canaan bench. Now the benches, if you can see it in the background, you can see the New Canaan bench. They're socially distant. They can't stand on the sidelines. The benches have been taken off of Dunning Field, and that's how both New Canaan and Darien's reserve players are sitting in the world that is 2020. Here's number 17 for New Canaan, Colin Byrne. As you mentioned, Austin, he just checked in. Throwing it in is Dumas. Misses the header, and Byrne avoids trouble. Here's Lindbergh to Bayless. Catlin snatches it, getting away from Robbie Roderick. What a great name. And they can't find the shot they were looking for.
Much better from New Canaan. Sorry to cut you off there, Ian.
No problem.
Lindbergh on the left-hand side. That's what they were working on yesterday in practice, those low crosses. Looking for Bayless. Was a little bit behind him, and he couldn't quite just it to himself. But, that's what New Canaan's looking to do. They're probably going to look to capitalize, on the counterattack. Really haven't had much of the possession, and that's what you have to do. And then, Bayless is, very, very quick in that midfield, and obviously, he's played for Beach Club, so that's very impressive given what he's done, and that was just year one with the Rams soccer team.
Yeah, Evan Bayless, a player who, very talented, played for Beachside, a private club, and just a player that definitely the Rams needed that kind of talent in the system, and they're lucky to have him.
Free kick for New Canaan here, just over a minute to go in the first half. No score, and a game that we expect to not have many goals given it's the first one of the year, but certainly we've seen chances on both sides. Darien came out certainly the better team. New Canaan's adapted and done well. I think the substitutions that Coach Green has made have been very good ones. As under pressure was Fannin as he got it to Bosman. James Galvin, who came on there, number 6, did a great job chasing the ball down.
And here's Norton on the move before he's met by a bunch of Blue Wave defenders. Byrne locates it. Walter will come up for it. Finds Healey on the far side. Catlin in trouble. Darien took control for a moment. Racing forward is Fannin. Walter collides with his own teammate. Also in that fight was Matthew Kennedy, and that is going to be the end of half number 1 here from Dunning Field. There's a whistle as we have a 0-0 ball game. The battle of the defenses, Austin, as we're going to kick it back up to the booth here. 0-0. 0-0 on the record, 0-0 on the scoreboard. And Austin, what are your biggest takeaways so far from the first half?
Well, it's the first half. Everyone's back. Obviously, great to see,
Yes.
live high school sports once again. And for New Canaan, they were a bit sloppy, which you kind of expect with a team that's much younger. They have that addition of Bayless as the senior, who really did a great job. But you look at Bosman and Norton and in the back, did a really great job. And, it's really easy to point out that Coach Green's really looking for, focus in the back. Defense is obviously what wins championships, as they say. And they've done better, but, as you can tell, they only scored 19 goals last year in a 16-game season. That's not going to win you many games.
No,
hence
only won them 3.
Exactly, and that explains it. And those were, 3 teams they beat weren't all that great either. So they're focusing the back. They're trying to, obviously now most of their players in the front are seniors and looking to really capitalize on some great crosses. But, it was a good start for Darien as well. Really forced Walter to make some key saves and come out when he probably didn't want to. But it's a good half. The first one's, under everyone's belt. No damage yet, but certainly, we're excited for a great game and obviously a great year for NCTV, trying to cover as many games as possible.
Yeah, we're looking to bounce back after that rough first half of technical difficulties. We'll take the blame on that one. We're going to give you a full an action-filled second half. And speaking of bounce backs, this is a New Canaan team that you mentioned. They are looking to bounce back. And you alluded to a little bit in the broadcast, Austin, how for the first 14 minutes of the game, New Canaan wasn't doing too hot. The game that you missed, the first 14 minutes. So tell the people at home what the first 14 minutes of the half was for New Canaan and the final 26.
Well, in the first 14 minutes, obviously all the starters were out there just trying to, get some playing time, and really just in the back, just too many errors. That's simply what it was. Just too many errors in the back, too many bad passes, too many opportunities for Darien to score. Billy Bronco was all over the place in those first 15 minutes. And then, a couple substitutions here and there kind of changed this first half a little bit. And I think Darien still would be the winners of the first half, even though obviously no blood was drawn. But, I think for the second half, New Canaan was supposed to focus on, having possession, and when they don't, staying back, making sure they don't make any errors. A couple of those free kicks from, Roderick were pretty exceptional, to be honest.
Yeah.
And they were lucky that, no head was on it because, they've had a couple opportunities. But New Canaan just got to focus in the back. That's where, Green's formation is, and that's where he is focused. But, I think New Canaan has a good chance of, scrapping a goal in this one because it's not going to be a high-scoring game, as we can imagine.
Yeah, no scoring yet so far. New Canaan has gotten very lucky, as Austin has said, catching a couple breaks. Darien's been aggressive. They've cooled off a little bit, but Darien's going to look to get right back in that momentum in the second half. We'll be back in roughly 7 minutes to bring you the second half of action in this rivalry game between the New Canaan Rams and the Darien Blue Wave, a boys soccer game that is tied at 0-0. I'm Ian Nicholas, joined by Austin Platt, and we at NCTV will be back with you shortly.
Want a goal, Christian?
I'll do it. Back here for half number 2 between New Canaan and Darien, and the teams switch sides. 0-0 in this one, the first game of the fall season, October the 1st, marking the delay of the fall season. But we're excited to be back. 0-0, Austin Platt, Aidan Nicholas, along with the rest of the NCTV crew.
Yes. Thank you for sticking with us in this broadcast after a bit of technical difficulties in the first half, which caused us to miss the first 14 minutes of this game live. We got you in here at the 26-minute mark, and hopefully you've stuck with us since then. New Canaan versus Darien, one of the best rivalries in state for any sport. In soccer and boys soccer, maybe not as big a rivalry as a football, lacrosse, a field hockey, as we saw a 3-2 overtime thrilling win today over Darien. Shout out to the field hockey team. Got a big breakaway opportunity here, and sliding in to make the save is Alex Walter, who's really done it all tonight, Austin.
Absolutely. That was Billy Bronca and Trevor Pegg there, the two guys for Darien looking to open the score sheet, and those are the two guys who've really been all over the place in this first half. Can't just got to settle in here, make sure they don't make too many mistakes, because there have been too many blue jerseys left wide open. And if this wasn't the first game of the year, I could tell you, Ian, that Darien would have at least one on the board, on the scoreboard. So
now in the game for New Canaan, number 6, junior Alex Novity, in for the first time tonight. Here's number 3, Christian Ochman for Darien. Darien moving from left to right now in the second half. New Canaan from right to left. Coming up for this one, senior Colin Byrne. Gets it over the Fannin. Byrne back to the goalie, Walter, who send it right back to Byrne. And Catlin hits the deck for a moment. Darien looking to take control. Catlin the Bosman. Heading it is Doyle. Just a lot of back and forth here.
yeah, certainly. Doyle Catlin, the captain, as Bayless looks to make something here on the midfield.
Bayless to Lindbergh. Lindbergh with an opportunity, and he cannot find Nick Lamberinos.
Good play there from New
Excuse
Canaan.
me, Ashton Healey, my mistake.
No worries. Great play there from New Canaan on the counterattack. Right, I was mentioning Doyle Catlin. The captain's had a really nice game so far in the midfield. Lots of open space to work with. Evan Bayless is so wicked quick.
It just jumps out at you. You don't have to be a soccer expert to know that Evan Bayless is probably the fastest player on the field right now. Here's Walter, who gets it to Byrne, the defenseman. And a pass stolen by Darien. Chase Caruso, the first guy who got there. And out of play. Last touched by New Canaan's Nick Lamberinos, number 13, the senior. Darien ball, throwing it in. Heading it around. Tommy Kurz sends it up in the air. And Ethan Fox, the senior captain, is back there for the Blue Wave.
It's easy to tell here in the second half. New Canaan's playing a lot more back. Really just trying to limit any dangerous opportunities. As Kurz was looking for, anyone, but Catlin wasn't there. Everyone's on, the defensive half for New Canaan, so they're really focused in the back, as you can imagine.
Here's star Billy Bronca. Darien on the move. Ball's past Walter, and it's blocked by Walter. Out of play, the effort from Robert Whitaker, the sophomore for Darien, but Walter was able to recover.
Very risky Walter there, the junior, who's the star, came out very far and could not play it with his hand since he was outside of the box. He nearly had to pay for it, but it's a corner here on the far side for Darien.
So Walter's had a great night. Obviously hasn't given up anything to the Blue Wave. A big risk taken there. Whitaker got in front of him for a moment, but Walter able to recover. Here's the kick. Darienne's racing for it. So is Bayless from New Canaan. Back and forth. And racing to keep it in play. Jonathan Petey, excuse me, the sophomore.
New Canaan's definitely a little more chaotic here in the back as several opportunities. That cross wasn't the best one, very low, easy header, but there was another pass that could have been played right back in, but instead the Wade midfielder went back, and that was not the right play. But Darienne's gotten off to another good start. They did in half number 1, and they're certainly doing it in half number 2.
Fanning kicks it to the Darien side of the field. Here's Tommy Kurz. Catlin to Novity. Bosman back to Novity. He's on the move. Ball popped up. Darien takes control, kicking that one. Christian Ochman to nobody. As Walter is out of a goal and he falls down as he's blindsided by Billy Bronca.
Walter's certainly not a fan of that. Was just letting it go out of bounds, and Bronca there wasn't having any of it. He knocked down the junior goalkeeper, and it looks like he's going to have a word from the referee, who just simply points to his head and says, "Use your head, man."
Oh, gosh. The junior-on-junior action. Alex Walter, the goalkeeper for New Canaan, up against Billy Bronca, the star offensive player for Darien. Ball put in play by Novity. Here's Byrne. Byrne can't find anybody. Bronca finds a man. Walter makes the save. Hitting the deck is Ochman with that effort.
Fantastic tackle there from number 20 out in New Canaan. Thomas Bosman had a great first half, and that was a great play in order to allow Walter to get out and corral it.
New Canaan's on the move. Here's Lindbergh. Making a big play defensively to stop that momentum was Captain Ethan Fox.
More miscommunication there. Tommy Kurz literally had the ball right on his feet, and Lindbergh took it from him. And they couldn't get an opportunity, but good response here from New Canaan after, several chances for the Blue Wave.
Here's Catlin. As our video feed is cut out for a second. Sorry about that. We'll get that up as soon as we can.
Throwing for New Canaan here, I believe.
Yep, it will be a throw-in for NC around the 50-yard line. Finds Kurz. Here's Catlin on the move. Catlin takes a tough shot, and that's going to be a ball that rolls right into the hands of goalie Tommy Bronca.
Great tackle there from Danny Lowe, the senior. Very clean on Catlin, who went down, but it was all ball and thus no foul. Good call from the ref to let the game keep playing.
So the Bronca brothers, Tommy Bronca, the goalie for Darien, really has not had a lot of action thrown his way in this one. Kurz with the kick. There's a whistle. It's going to be Darien ball. As Ethan Fox will head it in for the Blue Wave. There's a close-up on him.
He's had some fantastic crosses so far, and, he's definitely overshot a couple of them, and now he's near the halfway line. Let's see if he can put a nice ball in. Wouldn't be surprised if he does, the senior.
Fox.
Offsides there on Darien. That was a great ball. That's exactly what they needed. As it's going to be, looks like New Canaan took it a little quickly. It was offside there on Darien on that cross. As Fannin keeps play resumed.
Here's Bausman backpedaling and out of play. Still in New Canaan's possession. Bausman heads it in. Throws it in, excuse me. Finds Jack Fannin, his fellow senior. Big kick to midfield. Lindbergh racing for it. He's got an opportunity, 1v1 with Bronca, and Bronca is able to avoid trouble. That one out of the park. Out of Dunning Field, that is.
Practically went back to Darien High School. Looked like Danny Lowe was back there working on Lindbergh as Lindbergh was chasing him down.
Lindbergh pretty fast in his own right, able to take the extra step there and get in position. New Canaan still has possession for the moment. Lindbergh heads it a few times. Taking a tough hit there for Darien, number 20. Danny Lowe, one of their best players, the senior captain. But he's all right, but it will be Darien's ball now. Kicking it is Fox.
Much more stop and start action here. First half, didn't see a lot of whistles, and now as this game is picking up, we've seen a lot more contacts and physicalities, and really showing why this rivalry is evident even in a sport like soccer, where these two teams aren't, the two best in the state.
Yeah, these two teams combined for just 9 wins last year, but when it's New Canaan Darien, as you queued that one up perfectly, Austin, as Tommy Kurz runs over number 12 for Darien, Chase Caruso. The physicality is always going to be there regardless of the sport. Or maybe golf. I'm just spitballing.
You never know.
You never know. Here's the kick from Fox. Another strong one, but a ton of New Canaan bodies. It's going to be a corner kick for Darien.
I don't know how that ball is out for a corner. New Canaan just got to let that ball go. It's about 5 yards until it's easy for a goal kick. You can let it go out of play, but I guess they're taking no chances. It looked like it was Roderick, the senior, who was on their tail. I believe he will take this corner on the far side.
Yes, he will. Robbie Roderick, number 8. There he is. A blunder from New Canaan could set up Darien big here. Here it is. Putting it up, and just whiffing on it is everybody on the field. And nobody's going to get that one. Last-ditch effort from Caruso to no prevail.
Wow, that was a really big opportunity. New Canaan missed a chance to clear, and luckily, and no one was there, fortunately for New Canaan, but they dodged another bullet. And
yes.
Certainly when Darien's had the opportunity to have these set pieces, these free kicks and corners, they've looked very dangerous.
New Canaan moving the ball here. Here's Catlin. Lindbergh saves it. Kurz has it. Here's an opportunity. And it's going to be offsides. And making the error on that one for New Canaan. And he knew it instantly when he did it, was junior Alex Novity.
He went just a half a second too early, but that really was a great ball there and a great job from New Canaan. Moving from their half to the attacking half. Opportunity here.
Darien on the move. And it's good! Darien, excuse me.
Side netting.
I was fooled.
Side netting. Everyone in the crowd thought that was a goal too, Ian.
Okay, fine. Then that's all I needed for you to. That's all I needed for you to tell me in the limited crowd.
Correct.
Where we only have parents.
Still, the noise was just as apparent as if it was a
I'm
goal.
gonna blame the parents on that one. Wow.
Blame the view. I mean, hey, the side netting was looked like a goal for me to me as well.
Hate the ball, not the commentator.
Exactly.
Wow. Side netting. Another break caught by New Canaan. Wow, I'm never gonna live that one down. Shot from Trevor Pegg, the sophomore. Number 5. He has another opportunity potentially for Darien. Right into the hand of Alex Walter. Points Bayless. Bayless on the move. Bayless to Kyle Sneddon, making his return from an ACL tear last year. Catlin loses it. Darien takes possession, and here's Billy Bronca fighting with Bosman. New Canaan able to avoid potential disaster. Jack Fannin makes the play defensively. Jumping that one. Bosman falls. The foul will go on Ochman.
Another great job there from Bosman, the senior's done a really good job locking up Bronca after first 10 minutes of the game or so. Bronca had several opportunities trust me, that did happen, even though you guys didn't see it. His name was being said a lot by the two of us as we were talking to one another. This game is starting to open up a little bit. You see the teams, really getting stretched out on both sides. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a goal here. We're just 15 minutes in the second half, so still 25 to go.
Just hit the 25-minute mark in this 80-minute game in the second half now. New Canaan versus Darien boys soccer in this still scoreless game. Even though if you heard my call a few minutes ago, you probably thought it was 1-0 Darien. But it's still 0-0, evidenced by the score bug below.
Looks like it'll be Gillespie here taking this free kick. New Canaan really hasn't had a lot of opportunities in set pieces. They really wanted to open the game up, and you can tell that they have a lot of speed, both in the front and in the back.
Yep, it's the junior Doug Gillespie. It's a beauty, and Bronca just ends up with it. Fearless on that one, makes the grab. He gets it out of Darien territory. Tommy Bronca.
He needed to, because Nick Lambrinos was right on his tail.
Fannin and Peg fight for that one. It goes out of play. But a pretty well-placed kick by number 22, junior Doug Gillespie, in for the first time tonight. His sister Alex stars on the volleyball team for New Canaan. They have their home opener next week, and we will make sure to get you that live coverage as well in the NCHS gym.
Claims of handball there. That looked like it went off of someone's arm. Number 15 on New Canaan, Ashton Healey, the junior. Looked like that one might have gone off his elbow.
But he's going to get the benefit of a doubt as Catlin hits the deck. But he's all right. New Canaan on the move. Here is Healy. Lambrino's tripped up, and that's a foul on Darien. It's going to go on, I believe, number 3 or 5. Number 5, Trevor Pegg, the sophomore, tripping up Lambrinos. Lambrinos gets a free kick, heading it and avoiding danger. But not out of the clear yet. Kelvin Carvalho in the game for the first time tonight. Hits the Dunning Field gate as he had too much forward momentum there.
New Canaan's really done a great job pressuring this Darien back line, which really hasn't been tested a lot this game, to be quite honest with you. And they're starting to, make Tommy Bronca, the sophomore, the goalie, feel a little bit uncomfortable. And they're certainly testing him out a little bit, making sure he's awake and on his toes.
Here's Catlin. And Catlin is tripped up again. He's been in a lot. He has been the receiver of blows, a lot of fouls as he holds his right hip.
Yellow card, that's the first one of the game.
Yellow card on number 12, Chase Caruso, one of the primetime players on this Darien team, the returning starter and junior. You should see Catlin rattled a little bit after taking a shot on the right hip. So that's a yellow card on Caruso. Evan Bayless, the senior, to kick it in.
Move back a little bit, Bayless is. As the referee points to the exact spot where he'd like it to be taken.
Moves it to the 22-yard line, just outside of it. Here's Bayless. And no dice. Vannon had a shot at that. And out of play.
I believe it's going to be a corner.
It
looks
is
like,
going to be a
yeah,
corner
looked
kick.
like it didn't go off. It looked like it went off of a blue jersey, went off a knee.
So Nick Lambrinos, the senior, will kick it in from the corner. And ball in the air for a moment. Had a shot at it. But once again, New Canaan can't convert.
That was Carvalho there, as it looked like it may have taken a deflection after he headed it. And luckily for Darien, it went out for a goal kick.
Kelvin Carvalho just came into the game, the senior. Evan Bayless finds it. Uses his quick speed to keep it in play. Bayless dancing. Finds Catlin. Catlin's shot is deflected, and he is frustrated. A golden opportunity there, Austin.
That's what this team was working on yesterday in practice. It was exactly that. Bayless, one of the faster players on the left-hand side, playing it back and playing a low cross, which is what we saw a lot of, back to Callan, and took the shot about 25 yards out, and it just skewed it wide. But that's what this New Canaan team wants. That's what Coach Green wants, and Coach Green has to be definitely excited from what he's seen in the second half.
Darien on the move. Here's Billy Bronca working on Colin Byrne for New Canaan. Popping it up in the air is Jonathan Peaty. Ball still in the danger zone. Fannin finally ends it by putting it out of play.
McCann really has to do a better job clearing those balls out of danger. Just too many opportunities. That's something where that's the first game low. Something that's going to happen. Not everything's going to be perfect in game one. There's something Coach Green can work on.
Fighting for it. And
it's going to be a goal kick. Well done.
Wow. Darien overly physical in the second half. Definitely is the case. So here it is from Alex Wolter. And it's going to be Darien ball.
Interesting why he went with a short kick there. Walter did. This looks like we might see a couple substitutions here for both sides. Nick Lambrinos will be out. And we got 3 new Darien players. So number 27 will come in for New Canaan.
Milan Afshar, the junior. Ball in the air. Darien on the move. Roderick gives it a shot. Saved by Wolter.
Too much space there for Roderick, who made the right decision to shoot that. Looked like it might have taken a deflection and slowed down for Walter, who jumped right on it.
Out of play here. Still going to be New Canaan's ball. Here's Afshar. Darien takes possession, and they're on the move. But Wolter's going to get the kick to get it out of the danger zone.
Great job there from Bosman. There'll be a throw in here for Darien, moving from left to right. Afshar just on here for New Canaan. Made a bad pass, but makes up for it. Thought he kept the ball in, but did not. It'll be another Darien throw. 17 minutes to go here in half number 2. Still no score.
This one seems like it's going to come down to the wire. And whoever gets that first goal will probably emerge as the victor at this point, even though there's plenty of time left to make some plays. Darien's racing for it, but Wolter will cover it up quite easily. Slings it over to Bosman. And it's ripped away from Darien. Matthew Kennedy. New Canaan in trouble. Afshar with it. Darien has it. Wolter clears it. Out of play. Wow. Fearless in the face of near disaster. James Kennedy. The Kennedy brothers. Another brother-to-brother connection. Matthew Kennedy got the steal on Bosman, and then James Kennedy, their sophomore twins, had that shot. And Wolter cleared it.
McCann definitely looking a little nervous here in the back. That was just a play that should never have happened, should never have come about. Should have cleared that.
Ball in the air. Opportunity for Kennedy. Popped up again. All over the place. New Canaan just looking to put something up offensively. They've been on their heels defensively for most of this game. Still in play. Here's Roderick. And it's New Canaan ball.
New Canaan's very lucky to have that throw, and that last 2 minutes for Darien was one of their best.
Big opportunity here. Evan Bayless is going to get offsides, I believe. Or one of the New Canaan players will. But here's Catlin on the move for NC. Headed by Fannin viciously. Fannin pops it back up. Catlin heads it. Carvalho on the move. Looking to keep it in play. He's racing. And bumped out of play.
He'll win the throw. Great job there from Carvalho, who's come on as a sub, and it's really made an impact in this one. Got that header on that corner, and then really great speed on the right-hand side, winning the throw for New Canaan. They got to settle down here. It's a great job. They're delaying this throw in because the last couple minutes have been very nervous from
back
them.
and forth.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's Bayless in the corner. He loses it. Still New Canaan ball, though. Last touch by Darien. Austin, you think the next person, or the first person, I should say, who scores a goal in this game is probably going to end up the victor, or could you see the floodgates opening?
No, not at all, unfortunately. We love goals, you know, obviously it's what you always want to see, but not in this one. First game of the year. I wouldn't be surprised if there is one, but if I was a betting man, I would definitely say this game ends 0-0.
Well, we're not in Vegas. We're in New Canaan, Connecticut. But we'll see. Down the stretch here. 14 minutes left in this one. Ball popped up. Here's Bausman. He heads it. Takes a dive. Nobody to snet it. Darien makes a play, and they're on the move. Working it up to Ochman. But it's going to be New Canaan ball as Ochman couldn't get that one.
Whitaker there looked to play that ball to Ochman. Is gassed after that. Head over heels, and that was a good opportunity there. Stennon just got to be quicker there. He waited too long, and the center back was quick to play it.
Walter falls, and not a great kick in the air. Bit of a shank. Out of play.
Be Darien throw here. Darien in the attacking third. They've been here for the most of the game, especially in the second half. Be out again. Another Darien throw. Danny Lowe looked to take this one. He supplied numerous crosses, and we'll see a substitution here for Darien, looking to get fresh legs on the latter stages of this game. It'll be number 13, Thomas Cleary, the junior, who will come in. And nearly gets his boot on this one, and it's headed out. It'll be a New Canaan throw to the surprise of Lau, who certainly, I thought that was a Darien throw as well, but New Canaan will take it at least. Get the benefit of the doubt from the referee. They were throwing on in their own half. A long shot there was well wide. That was Chase Caruso, the junior, took the shot from about 35 yards out. A little ill-advised, as Walter will play it here on a goal kick. Byrne on the right-hand side, who came in the first half, has looked very good in this game. A turnover here in the midfield. Petey takes it momentarily before. A really nice job there from Milan Afshar. As he sends Carvalho on the right-hand side. And a good job there by Lowe, who raced all the way back. Raced all the way back after taking a couple of those. Be throwing for Darien in their own half. A couple more substitutions here.
With 11:40 left to play in this still scoreless game between arch rivals New Canaan and Darien on New Canaan's Dunning Field. Heading it back and forth. Here's Catlin out of play. Darien gets it. Out of play again. Bayless looking to connect with Alex Novity, and he couldn't find him. Tough break there.
Bayless certainly a little disappointed at himself. That was an easy pass, but no dice there as Darien looks to keep possession as Bayless knocks it out. Another Darien throw here. Play's starting to slow down a little bit. Just over 10.5 minutes to go in half number 2. Great job there from Bosman. And then it's nobody looking to play to Bayless, but up in the air. Bosman waits smartly and then plays it after really getting a boot in the face. It'll be offside.
Well said, Austin.
He's been all over the place today. Really unbelievable job from him. The senior. Played back in the midfield to Jack Fannin here. The senior is really, he's been in this whole game, one of the few players on both sides.
Yeah, shout out to him, former NCTV.
Haven't called out his name much, which is probably a good thing, which means he hasn't gotten a lot of action. And,
but he's been in this game really from start to finish. It's felt like it.
That's exactly right.
And Bosman, too.
That's right. You don't want to hear your name as a defenseman. That's usually a bad thing, but it's been the opposite.
Kyle Snedden on the move,
offside.
But not for long offside. You know, we talked to Kyle briefly yesterday at practice. You see him spotting that right knee brace coming off a torn ACL. Great to see him out here. We were looking to see him hit full speed there, but unfortunately his teammates couldn't help him. His sister, Elle, won the Connecticut High School Coaches Association Girls Volleyball Player of the Year Award last year for New Canaan. So, the stacked volleyball team, what can I say?
Got a volleyball boys soccer connection. Didn't think.
Yes, two teammates. Here's Carvalho looking for Snedden. He couldn't find it. Deflected by Darien. Snedden races for it and makes the last-ditch effort.
His knee looks fine there. He was sprinting across the field.
ACL tear where?
Exactly. Great job there to win the throw-in, as it looks like we'll see another sub. It'll be number, I believe, 16. My mistake.
No problem. New Canaan looking to get something. Darien makes a good effort. Here's Bosman. Bosman to Bayless. Novity puts it up, and Branca corrals it.
Bayless played too quickly at Novity. Didn't really expect it. And then his cross was quite weak, and Branca was there.
Ball sent deep. Byrne looking to find it. He can. A big effort here, potentially for Darien, and it is a goal! Billy Branca beats out Alex Wolter, who's on the ground in disbelief. Wolter got a piece of it, but he didn't get all of it. And Darien on the board with 8:04 left to play in this second half, and that is a heartbreaker.
It's a great job from Branca. They start goalkeeper to right in the other goal, just like that, all the way down the field. Branca, who corralled it after the weak cross, got it immediately, and the ball was up in the air, and Branca did a great job turning away, and a nice little cheeky finish. And that's the goal that Darien really needs. They've really deserved one throughout the course of this game.
And so did Billy Branca.
Of course, if someone was going to score, it would have to be Branca. The junior, unbelievable to think that he's been really all around, as New Canaan really playing with purpose here.
Will they find the extra motivation down the stretch? Wolter comes out of a goal, finds a man for New Canaan. Catlin working through traffic. Darien with the first score of this game with just over 8 minutes left. Took us 82 minutes to get a score, and it came from junior Billy Branca, 72 minutes in this 80-minute game. Wolter still out of a goal, looking to get it out of here. Finds Bosman down the near sideline. Pass is batted. Big play for Darien comes from Jonathan Peaty. Racing for this one and finding it. A big opportunity for New Canaan. A defender falls and a goal is scored! But there's a foul on the play. Heartbreak after heartbreak for New Canaan. Wow. A potential game-tying score just a minute and a half after the Darien goal. What happened there, Austin?
Well, it looked like that ball was skewed. I was about to say Darien really played back, and they looked like they weren't even going to try and score a goal. And then, you know, a ball that was really cute. It looked like it was going for a clearance, but it came right to, I want to say that was Novity on the right-hand side, number 6, who just fouled him, but did a great job of finishing. But
New Canaan's on the move again. Could they finally score. They're bunched together. And it comes to their demise as Darien across midfield. Tripped up and a foul on the play. It's going to be a yellow card.
Looks like it's going to be Jack Fenn in there, who's a bit exhausted. My apologies, that was Kevin Carvalho.
Kelvin Carvalho, wow.
Really
You mentioned his speed.
Really did a great job. Noticed that that ball was up in the air and looked like he won it fairly, but
And a well-placed shot, too.
Really
obviously, it
great
would have
job
went in
of
without the
finishing.
foul.
which I don't think he really knew about it, but did a nice job of finishing, and something good that, you know, Coach Green can look upon. New Canaan really hasn't had too many opportunities in the attacking half, but when they have, they've been good ones. And Darien, just under 6 minutes to go here, looking to hang on.
Kick from Darien. Getting it out of the danger zone is Jack Fannin. Fannin tripped up and he's fouled. Darien frustrated. Believe that one is going to go on number 19, Jonathan Peaty. And a collision again as Evan Bayless goes head on head with Trevor Pegg.
New Canaan certainly playing
Tough break.
with a purpose, and certainly intensity has been brought up.
Bayless fighting.
Levels.
And he's on the move. Gives it a shove, but a clean one. Throwing it in, Novity. Bayless is turning it up to 110 right now.
Come on, Blue, come on!
Novity loses it. Bosman looking to get it, but in better position is Billy Bronca. Bosman racing. Bronca looking to go 2 for 2 for number 2, but Bosman finally stops him. In a back and forth effort between these two all night continues. Kept in play, no. It's going to stay in Darien possession.
That's an unbelievable job there from Billy Bronco, who really, there was no one near him after the ball came right to him. Didn't have any numbers for it, and did a great job holding on to the ball as Bosman was working on him, doing a great job to prevent any big scoring opportunity. And now if you're Darien, you can just, you know, take your time with these throw-ins and these fouls and just see this game out.
Black line.
So 4:18 left. Just about 4 minutes ago, Billy Bronca, the Darien Jr., scored the lone goal of this game. And just a minute and a half later, Kelvin Carvalho scored a goal that there was a foul called. Bronca nearly got there again, but Colin Byrne able to stop him in his tracks. New Canaan looking for one last-ditch effort here.
You know, when New Canaan's had the ball, it's done a really good job penetrating this back line for Darien. And with their wicked speed, you can tell that they certainly have some of the fastest
An opportunity maybe for Henry Lindbergh. That ball put well in front of him. Can New Canaan convert? And a botched kick and a save from Tommy Bronca. Milan Afshar wants that one back. Extremely well placed by Henry Lindbergh.
He should have left that for Carvalho, who was running in with his right foot. Would have been perfectly placed right to him, but it was
In an injury, sorry to cut you off, it's going to be on the goalie, Tommy Bronca, after that insane chain of events.
looked like it was on that slide tackle collision at the very end, right as he corralled the ball. But going back, Afshar should have let that go for Carvalho, who's moving in with a lot of speed. It would have been on his right foot, and instead it was behind the junior, who played a very weak shot. But that's great play there from New Canaan as they look to tie this game up. They certainly had the opportunities.
Showing signs of life.
And I think my prediction of, you know, well, the 0-0 game is now gone, but I can certainly see both teams getting another goal. This game has really picked up.
Here's Novity. Hopes on the line for New Canaan. Getting it to Carvalho in traffic. Tripping up his Fannin. Catlin with it. Inside the 40. Taking his time. Finding Bayless. Bayless in trouble. Bosman saves it. Novity puts it in play. And a miss again from Afshar. And a miss there also from Ashton Healey. Afshar had another chance at it, and also did Healey. And now 3 blown opportunities for New Canaan in these last few minutes, but they are oh so close to tying this game up at 1-1. 2:15 and counting left in this second half from Dunning Field. Bronca puts it up. It's out of play.
You know, this is where, you know, New Canaan only scored 19 goals in a 16-game season last year. This is kind of where you can see where their struggles are. You know, they certainly have had, you know, opportunities. Haven't had many, but when they have, they've been very good ones.
Byrne with a well-placed ball that not really anyone got to for New Canaan. Here's Bronca. Picks it up. Looking to roll some more time off the clock. Right past. Got it right past the New Canaan player. I believe that was Jack Fanning.
Yeah, he was right there, and you could hear his
hear him.
reaction. As it might have taken a deflection off of him.
Bosman puts it up. So does Novity. But a great kick from Bennett Dumas. Here's Bosman. 1:15 left. Still down 1. Throws it in. Deflected. Byrne back to Walter. Bosman. With a minute left and counting. Racing it up. This is crunch time. Batted. Lindbergh keeps it alive for New Canaan. Back to Bosman. Time continues to roll.
Darien's done a great job here at the back. They've given us some other opportunities, but they've certainly shut it down.
Finding it is Darien. 35 seconds now. Walter, big leg. Can't find anyone. Popped up. New Canaan has to get it on the other side of the field. And they won't. 20 seconds left. Down 1-0. This is the last stand. Bosman. 10 seconds. Finds Bayless. Darien finds it again. And it's out of bounds on them. Time rolls out, and that is the game. An absolute defensive battle that came down to the wire in the Darien Blue Wave in the first game of the season for either of these teams in our COVID-19 altered fall sports season. Darien is the victor 1-0 behind the lone goal from Billy Bronca. But they were in it the whole way, New Canaan, Austin. They had plenty of opportunities, showed plenty of fight, but in the end, as you see on the graphic here, Darien 1-0, New Canaan 0-1.
It's a good game from both sides. Obviously, you don't expect many goals in the first game of the year, and you know, there were plenty of opportunities on both sides, and the one Darien got, which is actually off of a goal kick, ball went all the way down, and Bronco was there and did a great job to turn. That's where New Canaan has to really focus up in their next practice and their next game. Obviously, these two teams will play each other again on Tuesday, so it'll be interesting to see how each team changes their tactics going in. But New Canaan just couldn't quite get those clearances out, and it finally came back to bite them with that great goal from Billy Bronco, the junior, who has to be a player of the game. If you're going to choose one,
oh, definitely.
The lone goal scorer, and he's had several opportunities in the beginning of the game. But a great job from Darien. They'll be happy. There'll be some things to work on. I think in the back they're going to have to work because New Canaan penetrated them very well at the end. But certainly it was a great game. And definitely very interesting to see what these two teams do again next Tuesday.
Actually, I believe the game's next Monday. Regardless, it's early next week. It's on the road in Darien, so look for potentially DAF Media to stream that game. If you're looking for more content from us here at NCTV, tomorrow at 4 o'clock we will be streaming 7-on-7 football on our YouTube channel. Didn't think I'd ever say those words. But with the season we have in store from the state of Connecticut, that is what we have, and that's what we will stream. It's on Dunning Field. We'll cover it. Thank you for staying through us with these technical difficulties here tonight, folks, in this game. It certainly came down to the wire. We couldn't bring you the first 13, 14 minutes of this one, but we brought you the rest of it. And boy, was it a good game. To follow us, make sure you look at us at NCTV78 on all social media platforms, Instagram and Twitter. You can find updates on everything we do, from our morning announcements to our live streams like here today. And of course, if you're watching this game, you're watching on YouTube. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel for more boys soccer and more NC athletics, as well as community events. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to our entire crew, including Roman Sobolski, Emily Fox, Ben Bowe, Alex Kurz, and so many more. I want to thank our athletic director, Jay Egan, and Austin Platt. I want to thank you. I'm Ian Nicholas, and we will see you tomorrow for 7-on-7 football.